I'm Jake Mansell with HHA Sports. Today we're going to go over the sight-in process for our 2022 Optimizer Ultra X. As you'll notice, we came out with a new feature on the front end of the frame of the new Ultra X this year. We added the Infinite Adjust slotted slide bracket, which allows you to really fine-tune your 20-yard mark by sliding your housing up and down instead of having to jump from hole to hole like you had to with previous models. This allows you to really optimize your sight tape range and maybe get a couple extra yards out of it where you may not have been able to do that before. So step number one for the sight-in process for the Ultra X is going to be to shoot at 20 yards. When I'm shooting at 20 yards, I want to make sure that I'm leaving my yardage wheel set at 0 on the setup tape. I want to try to get as close to 0 as I can. So all my vertical adjustments at 20 yards will be made by adjusting that Infinite Adjust slotted slide bracket. Some of you may find that you do have to move that yardage wheel up a little bit if you're shooting some lower poundage, shooting a heavier arrow. So you may find that your 20-yard mark may not be at 0, it may be at 5, 10, or 15. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at 20 yards and see if I can get that as close to 0 as I can. So now that I've shot at 20 yards, I found that for my setup personally, I am at 0 for 20 yards. So from here, I'm gonna slowly back up to 60 yards, and this is where I'm gonna start rotating that wheel. So once I start rotating that wheel and I'm moving back to 60, I'm gonna wanna shoot at 30, 40, and 50 yards just to verify that I'm hitting the target. I'm gonna really spend a lot of time at 60 yards. It's important that we spend a considerable amount of time fine-tuning where we're at 60 and at 20, because step number 3 is gonna be to select our yardage tape. To select our yardage tape, we're gonna take our 60-yard mark minus our 20-yard mark. So at 60 yards, I found that I'm at 42. So I'm gonna take 42 minus 0, so my 60-yard mark minus 0, and I'm gonna get sight tape number 42. So I'm gonna go into my sight tape packet, and I'm gonna select sight tape number 42, find 42, and I'm going to peel that off. I'm gonna take sight tape number 42, I'm gonna rotate this wheel up, and I'm gonna make sure that my wheel is at 42 where I was at 60 yards. So now when I go to install my sight tape, I'm gonna take 60 on my sight tape, and I'm gonna put that right over the top of 42 on my setup tape, because 42 is where I was at 60. So at my 60-yard mark, I wanna lock my knob down on my yardage wheel. I'm gonna put 60 right over the top of 42. I'm gonna peel that all the way around my wheel, and I'm now sighted in from 20 to 80 yards. For more information on the Optimizer Ultra X, you can visit our website at www.hhasports.com.